flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning all.
Morning.
All right, if I can find the right sheet here. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Minutes from the 22nd.
Motion to approve as printed.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. General public concerns. Seeing none. Is there Dean in?
You get the hot seat.
Not hot yet.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Sun's shining, it's not raining, or that other board we aren't gonna line
No.
Dr. S.
Veteran Affairs.
Yeah, something like that. Sure. I'll share with you, Peggy.
I'll look at it.
I'm going.
Is there enough there?
I don't,
Well, that's
I
okay.
just, I just
We'll
take
share.
it
Yeah,
out.
that's okay.
We're gonna conserve paper today.
No, we're
That's right.
sharing over here, so,
Okay.
while we
Oh,
were,
okay.
yes,
Oh.
Okay.
You got fine.
Yeah, we got it, okay.
Here we go.
Okay, the budget, $76,236 per year. First quarter budget's $19,059. So you can see from the graph, the expenditures, was $15,918. So we're below budget of $3,100, which is good. I guess one thing about that, though, is, we're not really concerned about the budget as we are about the veterans, so that's an important piece of it that we need to remember. The second graph is the four areas we allocate from our budget for county assistance, the rental assistance, which is housing. The quarter budget was $5,000, the expenditures was $3,733. That's $1,267 below the budget. The food voucher is $650. The expenditures were only $239, that's $411 below the budget. Utilities, $900. Expenditures was $818, that's $82 below the budget. Utilities still runs high. The quarter budget was $900, and the expenditures was $818, that's $82 below the budget. The Mid-America is the one that it still runs high, that's $1,550 of the budget. The expenditures was $1,808, so that's $258 above our budget.
You go in the winter, that'd probably be more yet, won't it?
Yeah, starting November 1st, Upper Des Moines has their program again.
Yeah.
And that will help somewhat. I've alerted some of the veterans already to ensure that they sign up for that, and I've talked to Upper Des Moines, and after November 1st, they'll start that whole process. And most of the veterans will get, anywhere from, or the people that sign up for it will get $400 to $500 over that period of time. The pending claims, we average around 25 a month. or not a month, but 25 that we're waiting on some type of decision. And sometimes it takes anywhere from 60 days to 200 days for the veteran to determine that he will get some type of a allotment from the government for his service-connected disability. There's around 4.6 million vets that receive compensation today nationally, so it takes a while to go through that process. In Des Moines alone, they process around 11,600 claims per year. And they claim they have a 97% accurate rate too. So there's also an accuracy rate you have with the VA all the time that you're contending with whether the claim was processed correctly. And some of those go back. We get them, and then we review them, and then we send them back to the VA to go over again what they may have missed or misinterpreted. The appeal process, right now I've got 4 veterans that their claims were denied, so once they're denied, they go into a notice of disagreement, and if that is still denied, then it goes to the appeal process. The appeal process, right now I've got 4 veterans that are in that category, and that appeal process still can take a year to 3-4 years before it's determined whether or not they'll get any type of compensation. Still the most prevalent through all the veterans in the U.S. are the hearing loss. 2.7 million veterans receive compensation for hearing loss. Of course, you know, that's all the time in the service, dealing with gunfire, aircraft, roadside bombs, et cetera. It's still the most prevalent claim that is processed by the veterans today. I've got the Agent Orange related problems of Vietnam are still persistent out there. Ischemic heart disease, diabetes, cancer, Parkinson's. I have veterans today, Humboldt County, that have put claims in for all of those. So still, even in Humboldt County, we're still contending with the Agent Orange issues from Vietnam, 50 years ago. I've had, in the last 6 months, around 10 denials by the VA. They've denied the claims of these veterans. And some of them we go back and we do the notice of disagreement on those, or we go back and we do the appeal process. So that is a continuous effort that we're making, trying to get these veterans what they deserve. Like I said, on the average, a disability claim takes about 90 days, and sometimes it can be, a complex one can be up to 200 days. Our new Secretary of the VA is Robert Wilkie. He started July 30th. And there's a new budget for 2019 for the VA, which is $2 billion a year. And I think of that $200 billion, there's over $1 billion of it that's going to go to overhaul the VA healthcare system, the healthcare record system. So the other area that I'm probably gonna, well, I know I'm gonna be over budget on, but it affects more the, not the county level so much as it does part of that $10,000 allocation. That's transportation for veterans. We're transporting quite a few veterans today to either Fort Dodge or to Des Moines, to the hospital down there. So that, what we projected is running higher than what I thought.
I see there's at least one claim I noticed, and so that is a individual, maybe a friend of the veteran, takes them, they get compensated for mileage.
Yeah, yeah.
Boy, we've got a couple of drivers.
We have,
Yeah.
we've got two drivers that are real, they'll stop at anything they do to take a veteran down there. But I've got around 6 on that have the possibility that they'll take a veteran. 2 of them I can depend on all the time.
And you just think there's gonna be more of that?
It appears right now, I've got, I think, in the next 2 months, I've got five different trips down to either Fort Dodge or Des Moines.
Okay.
Is the total people you're involving, working with, increasing or decreasing?
It about remains the same, really.
Younger ones coming in, or not really?
Yeah, you have some of those, but not, you still have the older ones that come in more than the younger ones.
Any other questions?
Nope.
I did solve your problem.
I heard that.
Motion to
I think
accept.
we're very happy and appreciative of that.
Second Dave's motion.
Motion and a second to accept the Veterans Affairs quarterly report. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and I appreciate you
Thanks,
taking
Dean.
care of that, Dean.
Thank you. We always appreciate your updates, you do a good job.
4 o'clock, right?
Was that
4 o'clock, right?
I'm a text you. If you don't mind, I'll text
I
you.
love old guys texting. It's awesome.
Damn.
Yeah, well, you do pretty good, Dave. I would include myself in that group.
Fat fingers, they just
Oh,
don't
my
text.
God.
Then the phone changes what you said.
We gotta see my spelling. You think the autocorrects would get it, you gotta watch those words.
Yeah, watch them sometimes.
Oh, you might get something.
Okay.
Silly, and winky.
We have Janet for this Pioneer.
Some of that, yeah.
You shouldn't talk to us, I can tell that.
Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Well, I'm sure you guys all know that Pioneer eventually is gonna unincorporate. Last time they tried to do unincorporating, they vetoed it because they didn't feel that they were being taken care of. So as city clerk, I'm going to try to make sure when it comes up again, we have 2 elderly people in town, mayor and a council member, that are having major health issues. So once they are no longer in town, or on this earth, I should say, are able to do their duties, then that will probably be the step where we're gonna start unincorporating. But I've done different things to try to make the city ready for that, like changing all their light streets to LED, you know, so less money, eliminating different things. We've sold off streets, we've got rid of some things, but the big stickler is the well. So when the city of Pioneer unincorporates, it becomes yours.
Doesn't have to, does it?
I don't know. What do you want to do? Okay, I've been working on this for 2 years.
Why don't, the city look at selling it to the co-op? Because the co-op needs water. Humboldt County doesn't do water.
Are they the biggest user, the elevator?
Right now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5 homes in town. 1 person died, and nobody's come into that house yet. I would say those 3 homes stay, and then you have the co-op. The co-op uses nothing more than
Just for
flushing their
basically
toilet.
doing
Oh, really?
one-
They don't have any tanks for spraying out of there?
Well, they probably have some that, but I would guess that people
There's
in
a
town
2-inch
probably use more than that
Yeah, there's a
in the year,
2-inch line, I
12-month
think, going
average.
there just 'cause the distance, and we replaced that line because it was so, their water came out looking like orange juice. So we replaced that line so they have better quality water down there, but they use it just for drinking, they don't even use it for coffee, flushing their toilet.
They don't use it for filling any spray tanks?
They do not.
They do not.
How would that be different than a subdivision in a community where they have their own well system? I have a couple of sons that live in subdivisions, they have to pay their own water, their own sewer. They aren't, they're in the city limits.
Okay, so the first step we did is I talked to our lawyer, and he said we should just set up an LLC. Fine. We can set that up for this water district and all this stuff, we move it forward, the city pays $600 to get it done, and I was down at a state meeting, and Ted Nellis, I think is his last name, said, nope, you can't do that. You can't transfer any money that those people have made in that over to a private thing. So all the money they've had there that's gonna run the well, take care of the well, they can't get it there. So, I went further, I've talked to rural Iowa boards, I've talked to so many people. The problem is that when most cities unincorporate, they have absolutely no money. The city still has money. The city has about $150,000 of money. And they have been trying and done a very good job of getting rid of it, donating it to fire departments, ambulances. Upper Des Moines, they gave them $15,000 this year, which they can since they're nonprofit organizations and stuff like that. The city can do that, but we can't give it to, you're limited on what you can do with your money. But they still have $150,000. In the water account, I think it's close to $30,000 that sits there. To run the well and stuff like that, we pay somebody $100 a month to make sure the chlorine and everything is there. The electricity in it is $40. They do take tests, which they do not have to take tests. They've chose to take tests, which runs $50 a quarter. There's not a whole chlorine costs $100 a year. It's not that expensive as long as the well keeps running. The thing is that the way I look at it right now is that there's two ways we can go. It's called a water district in the Iowa Code, Chapter 357 is what it is. There's 357 and 357A. And I can give you a copy of this maybe if you want. I got it from whatever, and I've read it numerous times and highlighted different things. 357 gives it to you. You were in charge of it.
Thank you, right?
Yeah. You are in charge of it. As the supervisors, you get to make the rulings on everything. You can levy taxes to run it. You can do all that fun stuff. 357A is where a board is, there's more like your water district, your small little thing. A board is set up, and then they have the authority to do it. They are not allowed to levy taxes, and it is only that they do, if it cut expenses, then they can charge the members using it. But right now, I know we don't have a crystal ball to look into the future. I would say the future would tell me that there's only going to be one, maybe two houses in Pioneer down the road. The well is in pretty good shape right now. I mean, it's running well. Because I can't do anything without you, and the city has already spent over $1,000 trying to research and figure this out.
The 30,000 that's in the water, does that follow the well then?
That's what we're thinking. I don't know what's gonna happen with the money the city has now. Does it just go into your general fund, is what I'm thinking. So they unincorporate next year and they have $80,000. Percentage of that's water, percentage of that's, is 90% of it, well, all of it's collected through road use, property taxes, and local option sales tax. So it would all be in the general.
John, do you have any
Go ahead, what?
Thoughts on that?
Thoughts, ideas?
Has this, as they say, come across your desk?
I will say that Janet has spent a lot of time on this and done a lot of research. And with the well, I'm not gonna be able to add anything more than what she told you. There's two options here. She's here for a reason. She would, I think Pioneer wants, I don't mean to speak for the town of Pioneer either. I think Pioneer wants the county to take it over.
I think if they can be happy with the situation, whether they set up a board or do whatever, I think they're okay with that as long as they can move their funds. But they need help, I need help. I can't do it, and they don't wanna keep spending money. I mean, when you set up, you think your lawyer knows what they're talking about, and you spend all this money on the LLC, and the papers are all here, ready to sign and file, but we can't legally do it. I would like John to help me do it,
So there's, I think,
and I don't wanna pay for him to do it.
Yeah, money you gotta spend.
Because eventually, I mean, what happened if we just decided to unincorporate? They already had the papers all set up and done, and then nobody went through these steps, and that's why they didn't do it.
So do they have to do a vote? I mean,
They do a vote, and it'll be,
I'm not trying to be smart, but if there's 2.5 houses, you said, so there's what, like 7 people? So what if,
about
what if
13 people.
even?
Oh, no, it won't be.
Okay, well, I'm just what if, and
Yeah, I don't think that,
does the elevator get a
the
vote in
elevator
that?
has no say.
On this LLC, is that?
I mean, the elevator
Only people that
would,
live there,
huh?
only people that live there.
Only people, the only residents.
In town,
So
not out in the country.
but I think, based on what I understand, if they unincorporate, then I don't have a choice, I have to help them or else go out, because at that point, I help the township trustees, I help. So, if they unincorporate, the township then would make some of the decisions, so I'd have to help that no matter what. If the water district is given to the county and the county runs it, I have to do that. So as far as what Janet's asking, I don't have any problem with that. I don't think there's, it's fine if I help. I don't think there's anything saying I can't help or I shouldn't help, so I'm okay with that. And obviously I can't bill for it, so.
Seems like I read somewhere when a town incorporates, they can give the money to the county specifically for a reason, whether it's road maintenance or, in this case, well maintenance, where you can set it aside in an account. I don't know.
Do you think we could take all the money and do that way? I mean, if it's collected on property tax, then it benefits those people, but, you know, I was kinda talking to Ted, and he says, no, only the funds that were collected are in your water account.
That I would have to check, but,
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot out there to check.
right, I know.
Because there's no samples, there's no, because those cities are broke, they go broke, they unincorporate, and the county gets them. I don't know what happens to the water wells. A lot of times they're individual wells, that's what I found out. They're individual wells, or they take them out community wells because there's no money to give them.
So your big thing is this well that serves
The big thing is the well.
3 houses and the elevator.
1, 2, 3, there's 4 houses.
4 houses and the
One is that
elevator.
vacant right now, I mean, nobody's in it.
So you don't have much option for a rural water district, because no one else
Well,
is,
you can develop,
I'm
you
not,
can't move funds over to it, but then you're talking,
you don't have much good option for a rural water district like there is some around the state that
no, we can't, we checked into that too, I checked in where the closest rural water district, I did all that.
It just doesn't
I
work.
did that legwork, it's not gonna happen, it's too far away.
Is there any way you can form
Well,
an association?
if it's, as long as we can move that money into a fund and leave it sit there, that 30,000 would cover that well for a long time.
should.
Besides just the well, there's 16 streetlights. I mean, $1,300 a year for city streets.
Our bill is about $110 a month on the street lights, and it's going up. Mid-America has a 10% increase.
Even with them LEDs, it's that high?
Right. LEDs are more expensive a month. It uses less energy, but it costs more per month. They've been asking us to,
Costs more.
To maintain them?
because
More to
it
put 'em
costs
on.
more to put the bulb in. So-
Why can't an association be formed like any housing group? Let them have an association fee and those 4 people in the elevator own that
I can't
association.
move money over to that association. I can't use public funds and put it into a private association.
Well, maybe you spend that
That's why.
down and make all their streets paved before they form the association.
Their streets are good, they paved them, they spent $50,000 on their streets and they're looking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
I
see-
can't move the money over,
Yeah.
I can't, and they don't wanna lose their money.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't.
I will speak for Janet here. She's
Go
been
ahead.
working on this for over a year.
2016 I started.
As far as options, all of the work that she's done, these are the options.
Mhm.
She has exhausted everything else, so the only
I've called
question is.
every water district, talked to everybody who thinks they know what's going on, and gone to their lawyers, and then the last one, which was awesome, her name was Amy, she says, well, talk to your county attorney and see what he can help you do. Maybe you guys would just take it and be happy with running it. And I don't expect a decision today, you guys need to probably look this over, you need to think about it. I don't think unincorporation, I don't know, we're gonna get into January and it comes budget year, and if they're gonna go another year or not, that's up to them, they have the funds to do it, and I'm willing to do it. I'm still grounded, I have a child in high school yet, I'm not going anywhere, so, I mean, I can, but it's gonna come down to that point. And then what about the streetlights? And what about the streets? You're gonna continue to plow them? Do you want me to sell off streets that are not being used, that don't have houses on them? What about the city park? I mean,
Ben, you're shaking your head, the county was
Yeah,
plowing it there.
sell any, unoccupied streets,
And
before unincorporating,
I mean, I just wanna make it as
What are you
clear as
selling to?
possible on the best
Yeah,
way.
what do you
sell it for?
All you do is
it'd be an
you,
adjacent land.
yeah, you just adjacent landover, and a lot of,
Deed it out.
Then we don't make.
Kevin Stein owns quite a bit of the north corner thing, and he would just have the streets and all those other.
Cities, or the elevator may be interested in that park, just in that north of there, and facility.
The city sits in such a cocky angle.
I know.
But it's,
It's really not
they've
north, but
already
it looks
sold,
north.
they've already sold the elevator to street.
But then nobody's maintained it.
I think the elevator's sitting
Like your
good.
driveway.
It'd be your driveway then.
And will you continue to treat those streets as roads then?
Right now, we have an agreement with the city. If it's no longer a city, is it treated like, that's my question, is it treated like a subdivision, like on County K up here, where we don't do anything?
Right now, we wanna continue to have Humboldt County they already clean our streets.
We've got an agreement for this year, yeah, to
Mhm.
clean the streets.
For
as-
snow.
As a city,
Yeah.
but like I was saying, if it's
Once
no
it's
longer
no longer
a
a city, then how are you gonna treat that?
Then I think you're right.
Well, but
Do they become roads then? Do they become county roads, or are you gonna
well,
classify
if you
them?
sell them
as-
off, then they.
Well, there'll
Private.
still be some, you know, some
Sure.
people still have to get to there, but there's certain where they go to dead ends, and there's farm ground on each end, there's no use, we don't even have you plow that, because
Right.
nobody goes down that.
But I mean, for a county road, we need 66 foot of right of way, which is why most subdivisions aren't classified as county roads.
So then it becomes a lane for those
Yeah, it
roads?
becomes a driveway.
Basically, if
You
it's,
gotta
that's
get along
their
with it.
driveway, basically.
And then they'll have to figure out how to move the snow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the subdivision association fee comes in.
Well, it's not really a subdivision, though, is it?
I think there's enough people.
No, I tried to avoid that.
Classified.
Yeah, it's not,
Subdivision, yeah,
I don't think it
I
can
don't
be
know.
classified as that.
Hmm.
These are just concerns the council have, I have. I wanted to just be nice and pretty and done when we wrap this up.
Well, that's why I asked John, if you obviously talked to Janet, but have you looked into, you know, from the county side, all these questions and getting it,
Well,
Our main
I mean-
thing we talked about was the water well.
right.
Right.
As far as what there is to do with the well, there's two things. Janet easily knows as much, if not more than I do about this, because of all the work she's put in. I don't know how many hours she's worked on this, but there's two choices with it. Either you create the private water district, or the county takes it over. For the county to take it over, you have to agree to that. And then separately, I
Still
would,
can't be a private though.
or I mean.
Yeah, but I know what you mean.
It-
Okay, go ahead.
County, non-county.
County run, board run.
Yeah.
Appointed by and it would, da-da-da, okay.
Right. So those are your two choices for the well. And then the other thing, the streets, that would be more Ben's area. And then, the money, I have now looked into what you can do with the money.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, in January or July, all the paperwork's done, they've decided we're gonna unincorporate, the well goes south.
Mhm. That's a very real
Does
scenario.
that come, do they come walking into the county and say, we need to drill a new well for 4 people, you're looking at $25,000? Because out there, talk to, Arnold Torkelson, who lives out at the end of Main Drag there, they were having issues with their well, and he said it was a huge number, and they were seriously considering whether they could do it. So I guess my question is, we're on the hook for $20-some thousand drilling a well for 4 people?
I would say 20 would be shy.
I'm
Livermore
guessing
is there,
20
so I'm
would-
guessing by the time you get done, new kids, new everything, testing, you're talking 40,000.
Exactly.
So then you can levy
So-
on the people that live there, they use the well. But yeah, that would be the county cost with the ability to ask the landowners to.
So if you do the A, you can levy, but if you do the B, you can't.
Right.
You just charge the residents or whoever's using the wells. I mean,
So can, yes, the county will be on the hook for it if the county took it over, but in theory, you should be able to pass that cost on to people who use it.
In theory, if it was going, and I'm just using Gilmore or some other town that had several thousand people,
Right.
levying that probably wouldn't hurt near as bad as 4 town, or...
No, I think, well, I think,
well,
Well,
all
people-
landowners would get levied, although look at
Yeah.
the value of their land.
yeah, I mean, that, you can end up with.
I mean, the elevator, if you can levy the elevator, but the elevator will opt out, you wanna bet? And they will opt out if it comes to that, and they will dig their own well, because they have those resources to do that. And then what'll happen is that nobody there will be able to do that, and it'll be farm ground with a lot of black in it, streets.
So this is the second time you've come and said they're considering it? Are you-
No, this
are
was
they-
pre-me,
Okay,
before
oh.
I was ever clerk there.
97, I found an old
Oh, did ya?
file.
Yeah, that was before I
Here's
was
your
ever
old
there.
file information.
But
which-
if you, my question is if, are they gonna do it like within a
There will be
certain
no
timeframe?
choice. Ivan, the mayor, is now on morphine, just to get around and get up in the morning. I don't know if you've ever, Joanne is
I
just
know. For the
even
same ones
worse
that do
yet,
the-
and
run the
you
voting
can't run the,
precinct.
you can't run the city with,
Right.
right now you have, yeah, I don't think the city could meet the bylaws once they die to run a city. Tammy's got cancer, her kids moved in, but and she's gone, they're gone. So I don't think you could, you know, you have to have we have to have 4 members there, there are 3-member council, but,
Sounds like you,
and I won't be there, so I don't know who would do it.
sounds like you and John need to bring us back the final recommendation.
Yeah, I think that's, the point of her coming now is to tell you, hey, this is what I've been working on.
Yeah, it's
We're-
coming.
we're gonna get
Train's
it done
coming.
sooner rather than later.
Get out of the way.
It's coming, and, you know, maybe you guys said, oh, yeah, we'll take it over, and I said, okay, awesome, I'm out of here.
So with that, if the county said, yeah, we'll take
There
the
goes your
well
paycheck.
over, assuming X amount of dollars gets shipped to the county, put in a separate fund for the eventual well replacement. And it just sits earmarked.
Yeah.
Without talking to Jana and knowing all of the accounting of it, is that something that you could do? You know,
Yes, it
set-
is.
That's
set
what would make the
50,000
most
aside.
sense.
Mhm.
Just earmark
Take their
that,
money and put it over there and be done with it?
put it in the account and
Mhm.
use it to maintain the well and.
And then it becomes Sagan's property to pay off
You
those
can read that
bills?
back in the- if you want to.
And that's what
Kind of
you
the
push like
symbol.
over the edge.
Well, you just, what I've done now is I just pay quarterly stuff, you know, like, why is the Mid-America check every month?
Down the road,
Yeah.
as, people leave the town, the streetlights can leave.
I think if somebody wants to take the time, who's, Carl, is it in your district?
Think so.
Take the time to go through there and see what streetlights are necessary. I mean, I really don't think they're all
I
necessary.
mean,
The original report from '97 talked about eliminating all but like 2. From going from 16 to 2 streetlights.
yeah, see, then that
2 or 3.
really cuts your cost.
Right. You know, then you're looking at $25 a month times 12, you're still looking at $300 a year for lights for 4 people.
Yeah.
No, I could see those on the front tab, but then couldn't you consider the other ones as,
I mean,
Yard
people can
lights?
take them over as yard lights and pay.
that's what I told Ivan, it's like
$8
the
a
one
month
that's
or
way down
whatever.
there, I said, well,
Yeah.
that's, we need to get rid of that, or you have to pay for it because it's your yard light.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you can, as long as you're not considering them streets and you're considering them lanes, I'm thinking farmer-wise, you know?
Mhm.
Then all of a sudden it becomes a yard light, except on the blacktop, which is going to the elevator, you wanna keep.
Yeah, give a couple
And
dollars.
I'm
yeah.
guessing the
I pay
elevator will
$8
do
a
some,
month, yeah.
just for the security of freezing or having light,
Yeah.
so someone,
I'd say, yeah, if they unincorporate, they turn into private lights for those that wanna keep
You
them.
put those on the blacktop. I mean, I would agree with that, I mean, and that makes sense to me. And then you get, a lot of junk.
it's billed through the Humboldt
then-
County attorney then. While he was gone, we
Made
put
out-
everything over to his office.
That works.
He should step out.
I'll probably request a budget increase then.
There you go.
That's what you get for answering calls,
I had
John.
answers, we had answers.
Well, I
All
guess,
right.
like
I think you just get,
Carl recommended, I think you guys work together, see what you can come up with.
so like the details of it, the street lights, the, you know, all that stuff, the streets
The streets
maybe.
are pretty simple.
Maybe-
We'll try to move to try to get rid of some of those streets. The
Yeah.
city park will be a stickler, because I know there'll be a few people that will want that. But I don't want it to be an additional junk, well, I don't.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Right.
That's
We don't need
exactly
to-
what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible, you know, he's leasing that one street, and that's only the street, not the 10 yards on the side, but it's like, he can't get out there to do anything about it either anymore. It's
Right.
just, health is killing
All we
him,
need is
you know?
another junkyard.
Huh?
That's all we need is another junkyard.
Oh, I know, tell me about it, Randy Bundy's in the city of Livermore too.
Yeah, you have intimate knowledge of that.
Oh, I do, and we'll have a hearing on next month on that too, so,
Okay.
like,
Well,
site too.
well, thank you for.
John, you're on board.
Thanks for all of your work.
Go through the
If you
details
wanna
of
look
it.
at streets and stuff like that, our meeting isn't until November 12th is the next meeting at Pioneer, so.
Take Dave with, or Ben with me and we'll go out, spot them.
Take John with you.
John, you
Some
go
of the
with.
houses that are inhabited,
What's that?
some of the houses that people live in, you just kind of look and go, oh, okay.
Sometimes you're trying to work yourself out of a job.
You probably want to get addresses to who that, okay, that
Which
is
ones?
actually, oh,
Looking
somebody
at,
who-
yeah, looking at aerials, trying to figure out who's actually living in
oh,
the
yeah.
house
this
or
is
not.
it.
Janet, you're trying to work yourself out of a job, aren't you?
Yeah, I found out the other day I can't get unemployment. I think that's kind of wondering. I can't believe it. I was talking to them, well, you get unemployment when they unincorporated, and it's like, well, that's just not right.
Well, we appreciate all you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not sure we want it, but we appreciate it.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Thank you.
That's why you guys
Thank
get the
you.
big money.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, John. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Looks like we need a motion to go into drainage.
Looks like it.
Into drainage.
We're not gonna do the budget thing first?
Oh.
Well, can we wait?
Sure.
John has
I'll
our...
hold off on my motion.
Okay. John, do you have anything you wanna do on
Okay,
our...
so Mr. Bundy's property is, gotten worse. I don't think that comes as a surprise to anybody, because I think all of you have talked to me about it. So, what I did is I had the sheriff's office go out and take pictures take a couple rounds of pictures, but we're at the point where my suggestion is we do two things. We send him another letter, and the reason for sending him another letter is to give him basically a deadline of stuff that looks like it's in the right of way or can't be going in the right of way. That's not supposed to be there. We have public health issues, but the agreement we had with Mr. Bundy was it would not increase, not add to it, it would just take away, clearly add. So to give him some sort of deadline, back surgery, no back surgery, cold, not cold, to get it cleaned up, and my suggestion would be it not be, like 6 months, I would think, probably maybe the end of the year. I would love to give him 6 days, but I think, give him some time period that would be, not that he hasn't had a reasonable amount of time, but it would be reasonable to take care of some of this, and then if nothing is taken care of, my suggestion is that we file charges, and when I say charges, they're county infractions, so they're not necessarily, they're pseudo-criminal, they're mostly with a remedy of either a civil penalty or an injunction which will require him to do something. And then, down the line, if that were not complied with, there would be the option of contempt, but it would not, the goal would not be to put Mr. Bundy in jail here, it would be to remedy the problem of the junk. And the hope would be that he would move it out instead of moving it in.
Well, can you give the option of pushing it back into his property and building a privacy fence?
I told Bill the fence. I told him right away, I said, you build a tall fence and you put that stuff in behind a fence, that takes care of probably 80% of it. But he has not built a fence. It's gonna have to be, I don't know, a year and a half. I can't, and he brings in, I will tell you, he brings in his receipts of his scrap. We probably get, there's probably 2 receipts a month. He brings them in, he's good about bringing them in, but,
That's a great
he just,
way to keep bringing stuff in, because if you bring in a semi-load and you take out a pickup load, do the math.
well, I think that's, that was not,
He was not supposed to bring any more in, was he?
yeah, the thing that I tried to make clear to him and told him every time that I saw him is, can't add to it. No adding to it. Can't get worse, has to get better.
Well,
It's gotten worse. I mean, I know, he had a mower that died in the ditch, and it just stayed there. He's got that weird horse, and he's got all those cars. So it's a mess, and I know people complain, and it looks bad, but
John, is there any way the Board of Health can have the neighbors file a complaint?
well, I don't even know if they need the neighbors to file a complaint.
And that's a menace, really, there's rats out there.
If there's rats out there, then that would put it within the purview of the Board of Health. There's things they can do that. They can declare it a public nuisance because it's a health hazard. I don't think we're gonna get to play, but it's a health hazard, so.
You're kind of moving towards that with this latest,
Right. But I think, separate from this, obviously there was never any understanding that you could have vermin out there, and we could have all kinds of, that's not supposed to happen, and then there's separate laws for that, so I think that fits under public health nuisance, I think that fits directly under the Board of Public Health, and directly under the sanitarian, I think they can just, I don't know if they need a complaint file, if they're aware of it, I think they can have a meeting, and they can declare a public nuisance, which, would probably be worthwhile to tell Mr. Bundy. Because he's been very decent in dealing with me. Not that that makes it better or worse. He's been easy for me to deal with, but I don't drive by his house every day. And so I've driven by it a couple of times more recently. Maybe we should get some pictures, and it's worse. I know he's not perfect, but I don't remember all that stuff sneaking out towards the road.
You need to drive by there more often.
No.
Then you would get the big picture. I'm sure Ben gets by, all of us
Wasn't
do.
there's an original judgment like 12, 15 years ago that was, you can't add to it, and it seems like the county went in with, a couple of scrappers, and they hauled a bunch out of there.
Yeah,
That was when Doug Wood was still alive.
yeah.
That was,
Well, I think you're on the right track, but I'd like to see you mention what you probably mentioned to them, but maybe put it in written form of the privacy fence, make sure it's back away from the right of way. And I've heard, well, bad back, this, that, you name it, there's all this. I know I should build that, but I just can't do it. I should get rid of stuff, but I'm taking receipts to the county attorney, that's all good, but as quite evident, nothing's changing.
we have a file of all his receipts. He's brought them in. I think it just looks like it's been added to.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to
I sent
contact
you
the
that
sanitarium.
picture.
Well, every Board of Health meeting that we have, the sanitarian is usually there, and he's had complaints on it, he's asked where we at on it.
Okay.
So, they're well aware of it for the Board of Health.
Speaking of that, and Dave saying that they're aware, can you put something in the letter that, the effect that that is being
Yeah.
discussed on the sanitarian Board of Health side?
Yeah, what I do, when I send letters, I do the sheriff's department serve them, so that way we know when to get them.
Yeah.
But usually I have them served, so I would have them served with this, and normally, I think the last time I attached the ordinances that says, you know, what you can and can't do, and
Next
So that-
Board of Health meeting's on the 15th.
because I think if it's determined to be a public health nuisance, then that changes things quite a bit. That allows, without too much, the ability to just go in and clean it up, and then go.
I would think some of the neighbors could get that, more teeth in that, and become a public nuisance.
Well, you know, it's just, it's a bad deal, so, it'd be nice to get it fixed.
Well, I think you're on the right track with
Go for
that.
it.
Can you mention the privacy, he knows,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
knows all it, send it again, put the time frame. If it's not done, we're gonna have to move forward with it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Yep, sure.
Appreciate your help.
Sure.
Got anything else for us?
You need to buy a
John?
bigger truck.
Contact Dave over there, he's probably got complaints.
Okay.
He's
Alrighty.
sanitarian.
Let us know when you wanna go to Pioneer.
Do you wanna ride with us, Pioneer?
Yeah, what are you gonna, let me know when you're gonna, I'll come with you to Pioneer.
There you go.
Thanks, John.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you. All right, now,
Make a motion, we go into drainage.
we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any other discussion? We're now in drainage.
All right.
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
When do you wanna take a ride?
I'm going to Clear Lake to the ballgame tonight, and Thursday I'm going to Iowa City until Monday, so next week sometime. Next week,
You got time to, Pioneer's not that far away.
next week.
I got FEMA Thursday. And might as well run buses on Wednesday.
Next week worked better anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll be in contact.
We'll get 9 new buses next year.
You going to the ballgame?
Yeah, we gotta approve an additional 4 or 5.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, that wasn't on the list.
I'll be there on the list.
Yeah.
We approved them, but they gotta go through.
Yep, yeah, and I think we just gotta do a phone call vote for that, so it should be.
What do they do with the old ones? Trade them in?
Trade them in.
What, we gonna try to push mine out?
Government come up with the money, so we ended up getting
Push
five
mine out of the way?
and the highest price was like $179,000.
Oh.
I'm trying to-
Four days, $159,000.
We want the days of our lives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It is a day of our lives.
What's that for?
Isn't it?
4. Mike, Coach City Bus. You missed the bus barn
That is one
When was that tour?
nice building.
last week.
I told him, I said.
You parked your semi in there?
Any night that you don't have, buses in here, just call, 'cause I put my truck in there.
Nice.
That is a beautiful building.
Nice building.
nice wash bay,
Yeah.
right, every attention to go on.
Looky there, it works.
Yeah.
Different computer.
Is that the deal?
Mine won't work on it.
Oh, wow.
Good.
We're technically advanced here.
She's younger than we are.
I recognize that voice.
So is this
This is three.
the one that we're continuing?
Completion.
Yeah, three
BP3.
completed till today, we started at the south end, this is the end of it right here, or is this the start of it?
This is start, you want me to go?
This is at the gravel road intersection, the property you're looking at is Nelson's. And we rode it and flew it, just to get a good look at things. Jordan Yankee, one of our techs, was riding it, you'll see him coming up here. A lot of vegetation already, that's pretty natural in a ditch, newly cleaned. That's about the only one along here that maybe could use some
washed
filling of
out.
dirt, yeah. But the outlet itself, I believe, is fine. And I think you'll see that the outlets appear to be fine, along it. And Jordan told me Friday after they were back, he said, yeah, it was smooth enough, he said, I looked down, I was going 35 miles an hour along the spoil. So he said, I slowed
It was
down.
a project. This wasn't an hourly clean out, right?
No, this is
Right,
a
this is
full
part of the
clean.
continuation. We couldn't get in there because of crops on the one side earlier, and Nelson called us, and let us know that the crops were out. So we got one guy running the drone, and then, Derek Behrens, and then Jason.
There's a scrap culvert.
So did he find any rock like the first?
No, that's what I told him to look for, was rock.
Well, yeah, the pictures that he turned in were rocks about this big.
Okay,
I mean,
Was it not more
that one
supposedly-
turned in for small.
okay.
Just on the one side,
What's that?
just the side that Jordan's on there, that's a concern?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
oil all went on one side.
Okay, but that, for that, and then...
Do they have to act like they're really working hard when they're riding?
Yes, they do, I know.
On a four-wheeler and,
You
you know.
tell somebody, well, you're gonna have to spend the day on the four-wheeler, and I get paid for that?
And, you know, in the summertime, I suppose if they came across an asparagus patch or something, they would probably stop or...
Yeah, I would bet on it, yes. One thing they don't like, though, they'll be in the bottom doing something, and a beaver will swim right by them.
Oh.
That they don't like at all.
Oh, yes, they do.
How far away is your drone operator?
What's that?
How far away is your drone operator?
Up to half a mile, we usually don't go much more than half a mile.
Even the weeds don't look too bad for,
No.
was this area sprayed or was this the previous year?
I don't know.
This wouldn't have been sprayed this year,
No.
But it looks...
or
I
last
mean,
year, because last year was the dig out time.
That one bent?
I don't know if it's been or just low. And I was telling Trish,
The last one?
we try and be
Yeah.
just 2 feet off the bottom is our ideal goal.
Slow.
That one's a little low, but, it looks like it has so much slope on it that...
Yeah, the one on the other side ain't much higher.
But it's
No.
pretty deep through there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the beaver trail right now.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yep, I've been in that guy's cornfield.
Longer ago, when I'd see that, I thought, well, what's going on there? Is that erosion? No, it's a beaver trail or muskrat trail.
Probably muskrat, 'cause there's no dam,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
This was cleaned out when?
Last spring.
Last spring.
Yeah,
Was it a year ago?
yeah.
Was it this spring?
No, it was
Year ago.
a year ago, wasn't it?
Just to, seeing the bottom vegetation, that's what we talked about with Don Reefer. You might,
Plant, because of all the pipes in the way. Yeah.
if you wanna know, see what exactly the vegetation is, am I getting back to your concerns about the...
Yeah, I
those-
mean, the
if-
bottom of it just grow full of weeds.
Don said, I'll look at it and tell you. He said, there's some species, he said, it's well worth treating one hidden in there. And there's some, he says, it's really not.
You could come up with a chemical that you could put in the creek that was harmless to humans, but would kill that vegetation, you'd be a millionaire, 'cause it's, yeah.
No, he can treat that, he does in areas, but he said it depends upon what it is.
Who is that now?
Not
Your-
Reaver, from B&W.
Oh, your tree guy?
Tree,
Yeah, brush
yep.
guy.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, this might, 'cause it's hard to tell from the drone flight what species of vegetation that is.
Yeah.
But, it might be something worth taking a look at, means it just recently cleaned.
I think you got some aquatic spray that would do what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know enough about that kind of materials.
That looks like, it could be, yeah, I don't know, it might be something you should have a look at.
It's a thought, because,
You can, I know what you're concerned, look at the stuff growing down.
yeah.
And that's
Yeah, that
just a
catches-
year clean out.
It catches silt, yeah, yep. Few years you're back where you were before. We've noticed that with waterways too, if it's farmed through, it stays pretty open, but soon then as it gets to a grass waterway, which you wanna stop the silt, it builds up, and then you have to
And it's
redo the
much-
waterway again.
Much higher than the
Yep,
water's going alongside of it instead of...
yep, you hit it.
There's a bit of a slough there, ain't it? What's that?
Looks like it.
It's like a
Like erosion.
critter hole.
Oh, I think you're right. Looks like there's a hole there, isn't there? Somebody been digging.
Naughty things.
So what's our approximate length, distance length?
On the
6 miles.
everything? Yeah, it's about 6 miles, the
6
whole
miles.
thing.
It's a big one. But it gets better, the lower part isn't quite so grassed in, it's just the last
That been up, or
2
is that?
miles.
That one might be smushed.
About
About
from Thor.
You start talking where it's grass more where it starts, where
Is that one up there at the top, is that one that they pulled out, or?
I'm guessing it was there before, because I don't know what there was replaced here for pipe, I guess.
My conversation, something that's worth spraying.
We just need to get somebody out there and take care of, pick it up.
Well,
Right above the crossover.
It looks like the bulkhead might need some attention. I have
Yeah.
not been out there. Again, not part of the contract. But it looks like it's washed around the sides of it. The intent, I think, was that the surface water to come over the top, and it's eroded
That's
around the
plastic
side.
lines, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 2 plastic
Yeah.
lines going in there. A 12 and a 16, I think. I've been out and looked at it.
Okay.
You got four-wheeler?
I did that day. I rolled that whole ditch, 6 miles of it.
Oh,
Yeah, before they dug it.
okay.
It was cold that day too.
Ooh, and out in the open like that, it gets really cold. Approximately a half mile of it here is what we looked at. And that was where the concern was, the last concern. There's so little to do, I think it'd be a point where we just,
Finish the completion.
Well, I did see a
Yeah.
scrap culvert laying on one
yeah, we
side.
just need to get that picked up. Our guys could drag it out of there or whatever, even when they're down here.
So are you wanting to put something together on the bulkhead to have that looked at sometime?
I think we should, yes.
In order to,
Whether it's just a work order, that's probably the way to go with it.
Well,
well, isn't that so?
Another work order.
given that,
That wasn't laying on top, but way back there was another one that was rusted, that was kinked and hanging down. Is
Yeah.
that vacated, or is it scrapped?
I'm not sure. We'd
Look
have
at
to,
that from the beginning there, it wasn't too far down.
okay, well, I'll take
It was
a
up towards the top
stronger
of the
look at
bank,
that
but it was
one.
rusted and...
I think we
pointed
get
around.
somebody in there to just take care of these. This has drug on so long, I'd like to see this contract closed out.
I would too.
Yeah.
but it's really unfortunate, even if it's, you're at a point where it's not hugely egregious, But yeah, Dave brings to that concern, there's at least one, scrap chunk of old culvert laying up there. And wasn't it that a lot of the landowners drug a lot of the stuff to the edge of the
Yeah.
field and it was picked up?
Yes.
So it was really
Is that what, considered a washout
poor
there, or
workmanship on the
needed
part of the
load to
contract.
dirt? Right there at the
Things
beginning?
just
Yeah,
didn't get
ready
finished.
to wash out.
No.
Yeah.
And
Jordan didn't run over any big rocks.
Nope. No, he, that was one
Well,
of the things
covered
That one?
Was that one,
Right.
Dave?
No, there was another one that was, it was
Before?
up a little higher up on the bank and it was kinked around.
Well, there's one that's junk.
Just laying piece loose, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a piece one, there was a rusted up one that was laying down in there too. It kinda skimmed right over the top of it.
Sorry, didn't know they were double stacked.
There's one that's, that looks new, it's just in the draft.
There,
Right there,
Where?
Where?
back up a little bit,
that's the one I was talking about.
right
Right
there.
there, just a scrap chunk of old culvert.
Oh.
To the right?
Right here.
Oh,
Oh, that is?
Yeah,
It's like dirt.
just for something that didn't get picked up.
Didn't even talk.
Okay.
But I think a lot of those, from what we heard earlier, that the landowners picked them up themselves and drug them
Well, you
piles.
don't know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, see,
I don't wanna take
there you go, point
yeah.
around.
Ah.
So, I mean, is it fair to,
Something that's laying on the bank,
you know, it really wasn't correct, I mean, they didn't,
Bad piece.
that's just an old piece of junk laying there.
Yeah, I would too.
Kinda hard to tell,
Oh,
too high.
It
Yeah.
looks,
well, I think it's one they threw up there. It looks like it's a piece of culvert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
show
piece
the
of
culvert,
culvert,
It'd be on the left side as you're going upstream. Okay.
Side road.
Just before that bump out where that stake is.
Yep.
Hmm.
How much is the retainage?
10,000 something.
Were they ever, contacted, I mean, at some point, I'm sure they were after the completion
Ten
of these
thousand
concerns.
fifty bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they ever come back?
They were out there, 'cause I actually ran into them out there.
We're back 2 times at least.
Yeah.
'Cause I seen the gentleman out there,
Okay.
sitting there picking stuff up.
And some of this you did, is just really hard to see. The one on top should have been obvious, but like this one, you could miss that. I didn't see it when I went through the tape.
Well, see, he was on this side,
Mhm.
he wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
Is that father-son from Sioux Falls or where?
Yeah, it's Yerke and Sons, right? Yeah.
Well, we'll do the, what's your wish?
What? I think the work order for the bulkhead, and we just get somebody to pick up the couple of
Yeah.
things.
There ain't much out there.
No,
No.
not much out
All
there.
right. I'll make a motion to pay the retainage and finalize the completion.
I have the retainage amount due at 10,048.72 is
Yes.
the number. Is that what you got, Rick?
Yep.
We have a motion to pay that
I'll second it.
for the completion. And a second, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Very good. I'll work with Trish as far as getting somebody to just pick up those couple of things.
Trish, on that bulkhead deal, means that's a surface water thing, you gonna work with your man Phil on that?
Yep.
FEMA.
Oh, yeah, good point.
that's my intent, yes.
Well, if nothing
We
else.
can do that, washout and the bulkhead in the same work order.
Yeah.
Mhm. Good idea.
Perfect. Okay, that one's in the bag.
Yep.
DD three.
In the bag.
That was.
Or I waited for Paul.
Now we're now down to DD four, completion hearing.
I just was looking at something here, the retainage on the two of these is almost exactly the same.
$100.
$100
$4
difference.
or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, we've got the final pay estimate, to B&B Farm Drainage. Ended up, there were a few extra work order items with the tile in order to get, if you remember, we extended the tile, I think it's lateral 5,
To the east.
to the east, across the road, and then they didn't cross the road because it was, ground was frozen, they didn't wanna deal with the road under freezing conditions, so they came back in and then finished it in the spring. There was some concerns on the tiling east of the gravel road, but all that got hooked up. We coordinated with the Tyler there, Mansky, and they got all those tile hooked into the new tile that goes to the newly cleaned out ditch, so, this had several laterals. B&B Farm Drainage was the contractor. I don't think they'd done a ditch for you before.
No, I don't, not my time.
Yeah, yeah, so,
Who's the
yeah,
contractor?
Yes.
B&B
From
Farm
Wallingford.
Drainage.
B&B, Boy and Boy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
boy.
Yep,
Thank you.
From
Yep.
Wallingford, Iowa.
and that's, my address is Wallingford. I just live east of town about 6 miles. Fairly young guy, very ambitious, hardworking outfit, so. I recommend that this is the hearing, wasn't it, so you can't release the retainage until
30 days.
30 days after, okay.
But yeah, other than what you just discussed, there's been no issues since they got
I
that
haven't,
done.
yeah, I haven't had any complaints.
I haven't heard anything.
And then where that tile goes through, and I think it's mostly, probably all Worklands field,
I know.
Right,
Haven't heard any complaints.
there's concerns, but like Rick said, at the completion of it, when they were working on it, but it looks to be that they got that
yes, yes.
resolved, just not on both sides of the road, like, so they hooked it up on the east side. Remember, Dave, that's when you and I went out and looked at earlier this year,
Mhm.
I think it was.
and, so yeah, we should...
Middle of the road then, or going across the road.
Yep, yep, and there was concerns on both sides of the road.
Yes, yes. There, some dirt did get into the tile on the west side, but they
Yeah.
got that flushed out to our satisfaction, and then went on with it across the road and got everything hooked up east of the road, so.
So your recommendation is to pay
Another
the
ditch that's really grassed in.
10,154,
Yes.
We cleaned it.
16?
Yes, following the 30-day waiting period.
Oh.
It wasn't
Yeah.
that bad,
Yes.
I know what it cost.
His recommendation is
Pay it,
pay it after the 30-day.
Alrighty,
I'd look for that.
I'll make a motion for the paying for the retainage on DD 4.
We have a motion and a second for the total of 10,154.16. Any other discussion?
the only other thing, there again, this would be back practically a year ago, I don't remember discussion that was stopped, you know, what you just said, they got stopped that winter.
Mhm.
They didn't wanna cross the road, which was fine, that's where the dirt ended up in the tile.
Yes.
It didn't, you know, really, that wasn't really brought to our attention. It's, you know, I really learned about all this stuff in spring when Dave and I went out there and looked at them finishing it up, which, you know, was finished fine, but
Mhm.
would like to have known, I don't know, there's still concern about the dirt that washed in particularly, you know, over the winter, just so we know if there's, and we're, like, right now, we're aware of these two major projects going on. We'll
Mhm.
know where they are come winter, so that
Yes,
we know
we'll know exactly
that,
where.
yeah, and hopefully
yes.
there's no issues in the spring with either one of them.
Absolutely.
So that one just really didn't come to anybody's attention till the spring,
Okay.
that it could be a problem. So just make sure that we're, when
Yeah.
construction ends and then there's ongoing projects, everybody knows
Good point,
where it's at.
point well taken. Yep.
That's all my discussion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Let's see, Gerke on sub-5 of 11, it looks like they're gonna cross the road today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, they're moving along.
They are moving right along. Yeah, the ground conditions have been really good, and, we have somebody out there every day I came by it. They have a really small mesh orange net across the road. I didn't see it. I drove right into I was going really slow, approaching the project, it's like, whoa! So, I've never seen one that fine a mesh, or just, you know, it wasn't very big, so, but, yeah, they're gonna put concrete in through the road, and they'll do collars between the plastic and the concrete to take care of that. Yeah, very, very happy with their progress, doing a good job. Like I say, we've been there enough to really keep track of everything every day. So, and our guy was coming down this morning again, so he'll be there for the road crossing.
They got far enough to know, is this gonna take, an additional amount of rock because of the conditions that they're in? Because I mean, you're being maybe a little overly optimistic that they've been wonderful conditions. It's wet out there.
Oh, yeah, surface water?
It's
Yeah,
wet.
which
But, so this, do you know at this point in time, would you have a concern that we're gonna see a change order on the amount of rock needed?
I would anticipate extra rock,
There you go.
just because...
It's not like there wasn't a lot of rock bid into the process.
Right, but...
Whether it's, I would blame it on, it
But whether it's plastic or concrete, it would require more rock when it's wet.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
You know, and
the bedding material we've called for is ideal unless the base is unstable. You get an unstable base, that's when we have to add the bigger rock.
And you don't know that until you dig.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
not helping anything that it is not dry. I mean, they're able to do it.
Yes, yeah.
Would they tell you it's ideal conditions? No.
No, it's been really, really good, no.
Must be fairly well, because they're moving right along.
Yes.
How's, not to change the subject, how's the other project, 35C doing?
Got a message from them this morning. They're moving,
No machine.
moving equipment in today and tomorrow, back in anything we took off. And actually starting tomorrow or Wednesday, be digging again.
And didn't you say that their absence was to finish up a project, and when they came back, they were not gonna leave?
That's right, that's exactly what they told me.
So they're starting up again.
I'm just hoping they get from where their current machine is, in the middle of that field, and get above that road before...
Yeah, I mean, it's been there a long, long time.
Yes.
I'm getting a sore neck from looking over there and...
Hey, what's the status of the project out here by the hospital and the cemetery? Cut down those trees. You ever make a decision on that? I can't remember.
We haven't even, have you walked this?
No,
I haven't either.
I figure
I just
the leaves are really
they're
dropping
starting
out
to go
these
now.
last few days.
I'm gonna go one of these days if I get home before midnight.
I'd like to at least have somebody walk it with one or two of you guys, or whoever wants to.
That's fine.
And I think mid to end of this week or next week sometime.
Yeah.
'Cause the leaves, at least at my place, the leaves have dropped, changed a lot just in the last few days.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, just keep in mind, I guess, and maybe coordinate it through Bruce.
Yeah, 'cause I think I'll be working in town now for quite a while, so
Okay.
I'll be available.
We'll be able to tell the dead trees from live trees by that time?
No, but the position of the trees would be the worst
Yeah.
thing.
If they're gonna be too close, they're gonna be dead trees.
So,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day, so what are we looking at from the creek? How far? I mean, something that's laying along there, is it 15 feet from the ditch? Is it 12 feet? I mean, it's in that border.
I think you'd want about 20 feet.
Either side.
That'd be the best. There's gonna be a lot of, that'll take quite a few trees in some areas.
Yeah.
That's part of what we need to look at out there. And that's why I'm thinking I should come down maybe,
I'm thinking that'd be a good plan.
yeah.
Well, we have till 10 before we have our joint meeting with the guys next to us. And you know we're gonna take heat from that.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's just Rick. so-
Oh, so you're just alluding to
The guy-
the personnel we have to deal with, or the project?
Well,
He's a different Rick than this
Both.
Rick.
No, No, not this.
Okay, I
Rick.
should say,
Our friend from Oaks Garden.
Oh.
Next, on the other board over there, so.
Ah. Okay.
Well, if we're gonna stay in drainage, can we have a 2-minute recess? Or are we gonna go out of drainage and go
Yeah,
back
anything
in?
else we
I
wanna-
got a question, can we discuss this at all before we have, or with them? So we can get brought up to speed as to what this is about? Or not?
And which item are you talking about?
This Humboldt,
DD
right, 228.
Joint.
Who's the lead county on this? Are we the lead county? Do you know who has the most acres?
She does, or
Oh, they
Wright
do.
County.
Okay.
You were correct, it's alphabetical.
Is this the one where they relocated the tile?
Yes.
The 1 and 2.
Well, they did it once already.
Now they're doing
Now they're
another building?
Doing another building.
farm?
Yeah.
Can I show these to Rick, so he can,
Yeah.
So I have them in
And I've looked at
letter
those.
too.
Have you?
Yeah, and I've looked at it, they've upped the size enough to take care of the
what
different...
is your thought?
My thoughts on this, you know, I'm sure these people are considered ag.
Go on, I'm sorry. I kept mine.
But you look at the map, 50% of that is acreage are gonna be roof.
Yeah, oh,
and-
yeah,
And road, if not more.
yeah,
I'll be,
big
I've
percentage.
heard this discussion, I'll be right
And, when you look at that, the water runs off, there's no, you know, it's not like farmland.
Oh, no,
It'd
not
be
even
very similar
close.
to what you call when we have a drainage district in a small town.
Mm-hmm. With the percentage of hard surface, yes.
Yeah. So shouldn't they be classified that way? Or the benefit be looked at that way, or?
Yes, but this action is just about the tile. There should be some action regarding at least reclassification of this parcel.
Mhm.
Well, here's an objection.
And then also, my thoughts when I look at this,
Some of those points that brought up.
There's an
the
objection
old
to it,
main,
too.
I don't know, I don't have the history on it, so I don't know how old it is, or what's, you know,
Rick,
And
there's
what
an
coefficient it is.
objection, whatever you...
where is that? There it is, probably. Does it show the coefficient of that old main?
I don't know that it spells out, let's see. Yeah, they give the Q is flow rate in cubic feet per second.
So what is that figure out to for coefficient?
I don't have the acreage, so I can't really tell you.
Well, when it was built,
Greg, you can shut it off.
which is, does it even have a date as when it was built?
Back to my desk.
The
It
rerouting?
says the 1968 design capacities. Is that